In the world of digital marketing, it feels like everyone is an expert, right? There's just so much noise. So, how do you actually prove you're the real deal? How do you show you're a genuine master of the craft?
And that's the big question for so many of us in the field. Is there some kind of gold standard, a verified stamp of approval that says, yep, this person really knows their stuff and it's backed by, the biggest name in the game? Well, turns out there is.
That's where the Google Digital Guru certification comes in. Now, this is not your average online course you click through. We're talking about an exclusive, often invitation-only program designed by Google itself to find and train the absolute best marketers on the Google Ads platform.
To really get what it takes to earn a title like that, we're not just going to talk theory. We're going to follow the actual journey of one agency that took on this exact challenge. And their story, it gives us an amazing inside look.
The agency we're following is called upGrowth. They're a growth hacking marketing agency, which means they live and breathe data to get results for their clients. They were already good, already established, but they wanted to hit that next level of expertise. And you can see how their relationship with Google just kept building. Back in 2018, they became an official Google partner. Awesome. A year later, their performance was so good, they got picked for the Google Elevator program. That's a big deal. And all of that led them in 2020 to start the quest we're talking about today, becoming a digital guru. So before we dive into how upGrowth actually tackled this whole thing, we need to understand the mountain they were about to climb. See, the Digital Guru program isn't just one test. It's a whole tiered system of mastery.
Think of it kind of like martial arts. The whole program is broken down into 3 levels, or belts. You start with the green belt, which is all about the foundations. If you pass that, you can move on to the blue belt for the advanced stuff. And finally, there's the black belt, which is the ultimate test. You get through all 3, and then you're officially a digital guru.
And this is key. As the team at upGrowth knew, getting that first belt is everything. It's seen as the essential first step on this much bigger journey. It's literally the gateway to everything else that comes after.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this all kick off? Well, earning that first green belt isn't as simple as just signing up. The upGrowth team had to get through a series of 4 pretty distinct trials to prove they had what it took.
It really is like a gauntlet. First, there's a qualifying quiz just to get your foot in the door. If you pass that, you get into an intensive online training session. After that, you've got a hands-on workshop to apply what you've learned. And then, finally, the big one, a final exam to seal the deal.
And they are not messing around. Right from the very start, Google is filtering people out. Just to even be considered for the training, you had to score at least 17 out of 35 on this intro quiz, so only people with a really solid foundation even get to start. Once you're in, the training is built around what Google calls the 5 A's of performance excellence. This is their core framework, right? It covers everything. Choosing the right ad formats, targeting the right audiences, running always-on campaigns so you never miss a customer, and then using automation and attribution to work smarter, not harder. And what's really interesting is that the training isn't one size fits all. They actually split everyone into 2 tracks. You've got the business excellence track for the hands-on specialists who are actually building and running the campaigns. And then there's the product excellence track for the planners who are more focused on strategy and turning business goals into campaign plans. So this is where theory goes out the window and it's all about practice. In the workshop, they split everyone up into groups and gave them a real-world problem to solve, either a lead generation challenge or a brand awareness challenge. This isn't just about what you know. It's about how you work with a team to apply it under pressure.
And after all that training and the workshop, it all came down to this, the final test. To get that green belt, you had to answer at least 12 out of 17 questions correctly. So yeah, the pressure was definitely on.
And here's a pretty cool piece of trivia. The upGrowth Teams group, back in July of 2020, they made a little bit of history. They were the first ever green belt program to be done completely online. Because, Google had to adapt really fast because of the pandemic. So, after conquering all 4 trials, the team members from upGrowth were officially green belt certified. Awesome. But what did that actually mean for them? And what was the next step on that path to becoming a full guru?
So why go through all that work? Well, first off, it's super exclusive. At that time, there were fewer than 150 people in all of India with a green belt. Second, it's proof that your expertise comes straight from the source, from Google itself. And maybe most importantly, it's the key that unlocks the door to the even more advanced certifications.
And this really brings us back to the whole journey. See, the green belt isn't the finish line, it's the starting block for the next race. Once you have it, you're eligible to go for the blue belt, and after that, the final black belt, to become a true Google-verified digital guru. Following upGrowth's story gives us such a cool glimpse into what it takes to get one of these top-tier credentials. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? In your own field, whatever that is, what's your version of the digital guru? And is going after that kind of mastery your next big move?